judge them by this or by that. Let's do that. What's your relationship status? I seen it on Facebook, and I just clicked your name just to see how your face look, and it was salty, you know. Why don't you call me? What's your relationship status? I seen it on Facebook, and I just typed your name just to see how your face look, and it was salty. Why don't you call me? Girl, all you going through is hardship. Come with me and take a trip up on my starship, and tell your man if you wanna come and start shit. I got bullets that's the size of a shark's fin. Yeah, you just going through some hard times. So much your profile pic look like one shots in hard times. I'm young but my soul is so cool just like the far side. You my twinkle twinkle little star in the dark sky. Yeah, please don't over-exaggerate it. Your man don't understand cause he overly emasculated. But if you left his ass, he'll be overly mad and hating. But if you fuck with me, best be known that it's calculating. Yeah, no sympathy for a negative energy. Better go away. Girl, I see it up on your face. Take a photo, babe, when you smiling and not depressed. All his childish games put the rest. What's your relationship status? I seen it on Facebook, and I just clicked your name just to see how your face look, and it was salty, you know. Why don't you call me? What's your relationship status? I seen it on Facebook, and I just typed your name just to see how your face look, and it was salty. Why don't you call me? Girl, don't be mad, okay? Cause you always get stood up when you go out on Saturday. I see the little faggot game that your baby daddy play. Like how he gon' leave you stranded like Tom Hanks up in Castaway. And next time you try to talk, tell him he can go that away. Cause sometimes I like to move or I gotta back away. Cause things be like that sometimes, so please just keep that in mind. I lock it down with extra peps if that kitty cat was mine. Don't wanna hear what you gon' do, just wanna hear what you gon' do. Macaulay Culkin, I'ma play the robber, don't place no traps. A nigga just ain't for that. Tell her to play this back, airway Dave in fact. Yeah, your whole situation's whack. What's your relationship status? I seen it on Facebook, and I just clicked your name just to see how your face look, and it was salty, you know. Why don't you call me? What's your relationship status? I seen it on Facebook, and I just typed your name just to see how your face look.
Now, let's talk about it. These things we gotta talk about, because we in a new world. And this new world come with things. And there was people who was ushering in the new world, and there was people who was behind. But for the most part, it's inevitable right now. All the way down to a lot of people may have even taught crap when the old world was still replicable. Now that we fully in a new world, you don't feel necessary to talk crap about the things you was talking about before. Now, your average everyday person, since you might be still average, and let's say you at the starting point, you want to be a content creator. You might even got work out there, but it ain't in that energy of what other people can respect yet. A person may still talk that game, but deep down inside, they want to do what you do. They just still got some type of vulnerability or whatever the case may be, and you ain't even going as hard on it and stuff like that. And what do I mean by that? Because these people worry more about how they're going to be seen by other individuals, and since it's a lot of people that people are still around in the old world, these are people trying to please bums. These, and not to say that just because you trying to be a content creator mean you think like you not a bum. It's not to say that. And you're going to come across a lot of people who ain't bums, that may not be content creators, that may even give certain credence and justifications to why they feel the way they feel and why you shouldn't spend as much time on it, because you're around these individuals more, so you end up being in a people-pleasing energy without it being in a situation of you actually trying to people please. It's just you don't want to be seen as someone that's wasting their time or doing something that your environment may not necessarily be fruitful in at the moment. Yet you will go to another environment, somebody might be more fruitful in that area. So that situation or that environment is more suitable or supportive for what you actually got going on. And there's actually more people in that environment that actually want to participate. So it actually makes whatever that you're trying to do more fruitful as far as content and stuff like that. Because now you got people to do it with, not you just trying to do something on your own, but you're in an environment that more energy have to go towards other things just based upon interacting like we all have to do, because we live a life and we have people like family, friends, associates, co-workers. A lot of people have children. A lot of people have responsibilities. We all got bills. We all got that. Forget about that one. We all got that. The light put in the shadows. You know what I'm saying? The shadow. But yeah, you got to peep game though, right? So when it comes to being in this energy of get ready to let's say you want to join get into a relationship, right? You might be in situations where y'all might think this is a shadow. It's a shadow. You know what I'm saying? That's why I look like that. Shadowy, you know, a little shadowy. I'm gonna be getting watched by the shadows. You know what I'm saying? It's the shadows watching me. The shadows watching me. You know what I'm saying? It's the shadows watching me. It's the shadows watching me. That's good. It don't matter. But you know, it's kind of, again, it's blinding me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It was good with the glasses. But for the most part, here's the thing. When you start to look at trying to be a content creator and comparing it and contrasting it between individuals that might look down on it or individuals that might look at you like you might be wasting your time or however the case may be, right? It puts you in a situation where you may have to spend more time thinking that you're doing one thing and it's more important, where really you could be putting your creativity in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? And you could be in a situation where you missing gold or you lost in some vulnerable energy. And here's the thing. You might get more interested into your, you know, relationship or sexual manners and stuff like that, and find yourself pleasing someone that's totally not even in that world. And then for the most part, before you know it, you gonna make your own life harder because you probably more creative, but you're gonna be doing things that the individual you trying to please look at as normal. And then when we start to think about social norms and stuff like that, here's where you just get warped into the old world, yet y'all all are participating in a new world because everybody online turned into like the new TV. So it don't matter what you trying to say or what you trying to do, you're gonna be witnessing someone doing something that 9 times out of 10, when you turn off your computer, laptop, phone, you're gonna be like, why somebody I know doing these things? That's lame, or whatever the case may be, or whatever. And you see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful when you trying to do something, and is you even in the right world or not when it comes into, do you want to participate into a relationship, which we're gonna get deep into it also. And here's the thing, a lot of y'all may feel certain ways when you're not participating in certain things, and I'm gonna tell you, you're not missing nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're not missing a thing, or whatever the case may be. You might be in some type of situation where you like, all right, let me give this a break because I got to give real life something, or whatever the case may be. No. You're not missing nothing. You're not missing nothing. So you might be in a situation where you like, all right, I got to experience life, or what, you're going to be let down every time or whatever. Now, everything I'm getting ready to speak, this is not personal, because a lot of people might think, oh, so what you trying to say, this is some personal, well, it's good game, but this might be what you going, no, this is not what I'm going through. By me being able to teach it, I'm warning everybody else so you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm able to sit back and be aware and look at other people's mistakes and stuff like that. And then y'all can also even see certain streamers, even though a lot of that stuff be scripted or whatever the case, but y'all can also see certain streamers right now dealing with these things. And even the ones that's scripted behind closed doors, we still are people. How you think these people get here, or whatever the case may be. They experiencing the same thing I'm getting ready to break down. You better believe it. You better believe it. So, and then, like I said, I don't want people to think that, oh, because I'm getting ready to use certain phrases that make you feel like things could be generalized. And if I'm saying certain phrases, I don't want everybody to think that it means only if you a content creator. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't content creators. Everybody can get their 1-2 together and things of that nature. But I'm speaking specifically to content creators and what may be intelligent or what may be amongst dumb people in that world. So you're going to be amongst intelligent and dumb people in that world, but it's a whole nother world. See, the world that you might be trying to impress every now and then and please every now and then, it might be things intelligent to do to get your way, or things to go in your favor that way. And it might be things that's dumb to do in that area. But if you sit back and look from a distance, you will start to see what you're doing in general is dumb. If you're a content creator, or if you're a person that create in any type of area, whether you're a musician or whatever the case may be, this is why we don't got no real artists coming out. We just have people who something like it. And that's why AI becoming so popular or whatever the case may be. Because the energy that people is in, and people scared of they need more validation, they're scared of rejection and stuff like that, but also they're in the wrong world. They're not in something that support them. So that's like you trying to do something, but you around a whole bunch of people, places, and things that ain't got nothing to do with that. Yet these are the people every day that help you be sane. So there's going to be certain modifications that you create that ultimately put what you could be spending time on lesser on a percentage scale and in your esoteric creative backseat. And then you ain't gonna have no one else to blame but yourself when you're not putting that time and effort that you see other people put in when they go the distance. And it's gonna play off as you slightly start to play that victimhood energy. You start blaming your best friend. You start blaming the people you're around. You start blaming your auntie, your mama, and stuff like that. And they ain't even had nothing to do with it, or whatever the case may be. And the situation you was creating to blame them, you put them in that situation, but for that very reason, or whatever the case may be. You put them in that very reason because you wasn't doing what you were supposed to be doing. So they was already connected in your life. So they was building up. You opened spaces in your life to have them fulfill those pockets because you wasn't fulfilling those pockets with other things. Now, when you wanted to fill that pocket with other things, you get mad that these people in that pocket. So now you getting ready to blame these people, your sister and stuff like that, or your brother, for a position you put them in because you wasn't doing nothing else in that pocket before you went to jail, before you was in that, you know what I'm saying? Or before you wasn't going for your goals, or before you wasn't doing that content creation, or whatever the case may be. So we 12 minutes in, so we get ready to break this down. And I want y'all to think also. Think for a second. If you're trying to be a content creator, or if you already one, think about your previous situations and think about your current situations. And you'll be able to suggest like the answer right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't gave my personal opinion. Even if I haven't experienced a lot of these things, I already know what it leads. So just going about things the right way. It ain't what you do, is how you do it. Which I don't have a problem with relationships or anything in general. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem getting no person. I don't have a problem getting no girl, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, for those who do, and for those who may be in a situation where you feel like your content may get in the way, because it's almost like a resume. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a sheet. You know what I'm saying? And a person, it goes beyond you. You know what I'm saying? You might be doing something, but it goes beyond what you're doing, right? A person who don't do what you do also is observing what you may have to think and feel, what other people think and feel, observing you and things of that nature. So whatever you're doing goes beyond you. And before a person like you, or you like a person, it might be a situation where a person don't like the position you in because they didn't build their life up in that way anyway to get that type of interaction. So it might have been things that they did to prepare themselves from being in them type of interactions that just come with you. And whether they like you or not, due to the fact of you having a sheet, a chart, aka you got an online resume based upon being a content creator, right? This allows them to come up with other opinions that goes beyond if that individual just like you or not. And being normal, or whatever the case may be, because we're in a new world, might not suit your best interest right now. So it might put you in a situation where you feel like, well, the hell with relationships right now. Or it might put you in a situation where you like, well, this is when I'm in a relationship with it, and I'd rather do this or whatever, and there ain't no relationships is damaged right now. Then you might stumble across a whole bunch of red pills and stuff like that, and then that's just really gonna get you off You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, it really ain't got nothing to do with that. It's really about creating your scenario, your situation, and finding other. It's only two genders and everything, so you're always going to find the opposite sex. It's just you don't feel comfortable enough putting yourself in those type of positions because you might be in a life already around people, places, and things that put you in a situation of what we get ready to get into: old world, new world. That's why I said when I use a lot of these terms, I'm just this specifically for content creators. I want people to think, oh, so just to be an intelligent person right now, we gotta be content creators. No, if you're in the content creating world, there's intelligent ways to go about things, faulty way to go about things. If you play football, intelligent ways to go about things, faulty ways to go about things. If you're a female, play volleyball. Intelligent ways to go about things, faulty ways to go about things. You know what I'm saying? You could be rolling the Disney ice skating or something like that and become Nancy Kerrigan or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then it was the right thing that did it. It was the wrong way to do it. You know what I'm saying? So we still trying to figure out today, was she just hating? You know what I'm saying? Because y'all be having those people. You know what I'm saying? You're on a volleyball court. You know what I'm saying? You're on the basketball court, whatever, something like that, and all you like a sock missing in the locker room before y'all go out. You know what I'm saying? A whole shoestrings missing for your shoe and stuff. You're like, hold on, wait a minute. What's going on? Is this ghosts or something like that? Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic, man? You know what I'm saying? No, you better start believing in haters. That's what you better do. You know what I'm saying? You better start believing in haters. That's what you better start doing. Yeah, they act nice or something like that, whatever like that. Nah, once, twice, wait a minute, 3 times, yeah, it's a hater. You gotta believe in magic no more. It's a hater. They just acting nice or whatever like that. But for you to always got socks missing in the locker room or something like that, you swore you put it there or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's haters. So peep game, right? Now look, so here's the thing. Now let's say if you now we getting ready to get into a little bit of personal opinion too. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it does get in the way. If you're now, and look, a lot of you rappers, singers, actors, comedians, and stuff like that, that's becoming podcasters, y'all get ready to, if y'all haven't already, y'all already know. Y'all are experiencing slightly different interactions when it comes into your relationships in general, even your business partnerships, but specifically your relationships. See, once upon a time, you was involved in something that already had energy in it that made it get attention from the world beyond you. So all you had to do was join it, and that's already half the battle. Didn't have to fully create something for yourself and be in that little weird space where it's like, is this gonna work? Is it not? Oh, I don't want to look uncool. Is this cool? If it worked, yeah, I'm harder than everybody. If it don't work, oh, I look weak. I look lame. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop, music, comedian, whatever, actor, actress, movies, the industry itself. That was basically it. So, yeah, it was easy to come across someone who don't give a F about you being in that studio, who don't give a F about you being in that movie or comedian trailer or whatever the case may be. I mean, they may care about the money or whatever the case, but then that's when y'all always realize when things slow up who's really with y'all or not, all the way to y'all team and stuff like that. But for the most part, you was able to get blinded for a while due to the fact of you was a part of something that whether you was with people who was actually down with it or not when it comes to family, friends, and associates, not going to necessarily say co-workers because that's part of your same world. And every now and then you find yourself having to cheat or get involved with that world of people who match more of your vibe and stuff like that. So that's why so much crazy cheating and STDs floating around in the music industry now. And it seemed like only a handful of people is effing with each other when it comes to both genders. But at the same time, here's the thing. It goes beyond everybody want to have sex, but everybody just can't deal with everybody when you're in a certain other pocket of reality, another pocket of the world and stuff like that. It just be like that sometimes. So you would start to justify certain things that you wouldn't justify in certain other pockets. And trust me, all you rappers already know there's certain things even in business when it comes to business relationships y'all justify you would never allow happen in the streets and stuff like that. Let an old bucket hat with a piece of paper don't write it down and stuff like that. It's almost like you still getting robbed and stuff like that, and all that crazy talk y'all be like we about to blow the next block up and stuff like that. You get done 20 times worse. You get signed a contract. You know what I'm saying? So all you do is hold your peace and start going broke. So you know what I'm saying? So let's not forget about that. Let's not forget about that part though. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, y'all was able to get away with that situation, and then and also allow people to rock y'all to sleep for a long time. People who ain't even down with y'all, relationships y'all got into. A lot of y'all got married and stuff, and had to realize a lot of it was flunked out. A lot of it was espionages. A lot of it was just people who act like they was something, but they ain't even really care about what you was into and stuff like that. And then you like, dang, I'm doing all this for this person that they ain't in the gym with me shooting the shots. They ain't in the studio with me rapping and singing. They ain't in the movie trailer with me going over facial expressions and stuff like that. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't in the getting in the back room around the round table coming up with this comedian stuff with me, or helping me with my construction work or my white collar, blue collar business or whatever. The hell with this. You know what I'm saying? You start reaching that all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's a real thing. But we got a different pocket of reality going on right now. Something like me and a lot of others created, specifically me, the way how far it went as far as you could be involved in intelligence, teaching, and business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics, right? But for the most part, content creation. You know what I'm saying? So when it gets into this pocket, it's very new. So it's going to be uncomfortable in all layers. Now, reason why I brought rappers and comedians as an example, right? Because they're going to be experiencing the same thing as far as their relationships and stuff like that. Because this world ain't already set up sweet like the industry. Yet, you are experiencing us being in a new world and the old world trying to get a hold of the new world, aka the whole industry you was a part of coming into this new shaky ground, trying to screw in and tighten the bolts when it comes into the table so everybody can eat to a certain degree. And it's at that early elementary stage. So everybody, you know, we all smell like first day of school and stuff like that. Y'all know that first day of school smell and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, you get ready to come across some money too. Say you dream about energy of when you was in elementary, or that age when you were supposed to go to it, and you got elders teaching you and stuff like that, regardless of your culture or school or elders and stuff. Or you start to sense that smell in an area that you wasn't sensing that smell before. It just come around. You're going through a phase where the light pocket hit the exact same area at that age and that time and that location, just in your location at your age now, because it's all kind of different pocket cycles when it comes to the medicine wheel and stuff like that, and astrology and astronomy. But that lets you know you at the birth of something, and the birth of something always accumulate in the pleasures energy first, or I can walk now, I can be a kid now, not worry about adult type stuff now. All that energy that come from, if you already is an adult and you experience those energies, you get ready to get something that you like. And a lot of y'all put y'all mind in the direction of liking money. So if it's filtered through that and you got that lets you know you're getting ready to get some money, or whatever some case may be. So keep that in mind too. Get ready to learn, you get ready to expand in something, you get ready to finish something and reach another grade or whatever. So if it's in your money, you get ready to expand and reach another height, reach another level, reach another class, or whatever the case may be, or a better situation that you was in previously. That's just for the spiritual stuff, people in the hood. But for the most part, like I said, so as a content creator, you are a different type of person, aka you are part of a new age realm of reality. So if you are not around or in the environments that support the concept of creating content or subject matter based material, you are wasting your time when it comes into being interested into a relationship. Why is this? Because even if you find someone interested just because they like you, but eventually y'all are in two different worlds, and that person will find someone that match the tempo of their life, aka end up finding people to talk about you too. And this, when it comes to even deciphering, when it comes to, as an example for you rappers and singers and actors and actresses and comedians that's now get ready to become this. This is why I said you're getting ready to experience slightly different things, because really a person didn't even care about the thing you currently did like that or whatever, but the situation already has some objectory, especially when it comes to women. Women are more of individuals that like to connect. Men like to separate and then play to connect, because it got something new to connect to, because it's that masculine and feminine energy. So females don't want to be looked at as outcasts or not a part of something, or looked at as weird. And it has to be enough people involved in something for or not involved in something for a female to start giving her masculine energy and be like, that's why I don't like it or whatever. Even if it's something she don't like, she's not going to be extremely opinionated unless she's extremely masculine, and for hopefully it's for good purposes, but she's not going to be extremely opinionated on it and come up with some way of trying to understand it, because there's more than just a little bit of people that's understanding it. So she may not understand it, but her own subjective individual way of trying to understand it is where she's going to be at a starting point, other than disregarding it, regardless if it's something negative or not, because there's too many people involved in looking at it. And see, this is what a lot of people know. A lot of colonists know too, to work on women, which is why a lot of people, grandmothers, were so lost in a lot of these religions and stuff like that. But if you was inside of a woman's mind, and I ain't a woman, but for the most part, based off actions, I'm pretty sure a woman will be able to agree with this. It ain't really got nothing to do with the actual logicality of it always. Sometimes it's a safe haven because of communion. So it's larger on a percentage scale that everybody coming together and not doing negative stuff other than what you just read for everybody to come together for that. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be weird that everybody ain't going to church on Sunday for the sake of more on a percentage scale of, hey, this is what we do as a family, or whatever the case may be. Now, the words or whatever may be used, or however y'all do it, or just because of Jesus Christ, or whatever the case, or everybody culture, right? That's one thing. But we always know it's be for whole other reasons. Or it would be no such thing as a grandma version of Christianity, aka stop drinking the last drop of milk, or something, stop eating the last pieces of goddamn Vienna sausage or whatever, or pack of noodles or whatever, or Jesus gonna get you or something like that and put you in hell or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's grandma Christianity. With Jesus at the tip of her finger and at her will at any instant, just when it comes to you and when you do something wrong. When it's time for y'all to get some money, get some toilet paper, food on the table, so like somehow Jesus disappeared. You know what I'm saying? Somehow it's all about her now. Somehow it's all, because I got to do this and I got to do that. Don't make me go upside your head. Somehow it's all about her. God ain't got nothing to do with nothing no more now. And that's when you know grandma will be doing that beside your dick somewhere. Shout out to everybody's grandma. All right, now let's check this out. So like I said, right? That's why I even just brought, because this is just for the everyday content creator, because we have to build the world that I already built anyway. But for the most part, I'm for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no biases. Shout out to everybody, all ethnic groups and shit like that. So for the most part, when it comes to people who already got money, I'm not going to be in a situation of being funky because y'all trying to jump in this. I know y'all trying to get y'all 1-2 together too. But it's going to be a good lesson to know that while you may be experiencing certain changes and stuff like that when it comes to your networking and your relationships also, right? So you're kind of on even playing grounds along with everybody else. And if you ain't a creator and you already got notoriety, that's almost like being boot game or someone right now, being lit, having 1 million IG followers but broke. So you're famous, but your money don't match the way the fame is kind of being psyop right now, because we're no longer in the old world where it could have been back to supported by the old version of gold when it comes to the industry, aka the corporations and the networks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be like the gold, and since the gold is lessening up to back the money, aka the artists and the celebrities and things of that nature, then for the most part, boom, we here now, and there's some new like minerals and material everybody got to go find now and things. So everybody got to be some new world, new wild west type stuff, get tribed up and get together and create some new creative gold or whatever the case may be. Then it's going to be up to the colonizer to know how to monetize it again, like Jimmy Iovine or whatever the case may be, or it's going to be up to you to know how to create some like how natives already do and stuff like that, have reservations, or how it used to be our own territories and stuff like that. And then even African Americans, Black Wall Street and stuff like that, before we all get blown up together. You know what I'm saying? Because even when it comes to black, natives and African Americans, we all share the same backings and stuff like that when it comes to America and being colonized and stuff. So it's all like how intelligent you is until we all get blown up, basically. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, somebody can get intelligent enough and go for a long time and then get old and then get blown up. That's better. You know what I'm saying? Because at least you got old and blown up. You know what I'm saying? You got old a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna let you get too far. But this is where we at right now. So we got streaming services and all kind of stuff doing all kind of crazy things of that nature and stuff like that. That's why I don't even understand this foreign battle either. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to understand everybody goddamn foreigners when it comes to Europeans and African Americans and stuff like that. Y'all all foreigners and stuff. So I don't even know what y'all arguing about. This is blocking all the immigrants here, natives getting supported, And the black people that's put into positions for white people with the goal to fund it, for us all to be one thing. Like, that's the only thing stopping it. All these dichotomies. Like, we literally could create like a system where we all one thing, but we have to do some in-house thingy where where I think the problem is the territory thing. People don't like the territory concept. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best move. Because all African Americans to get on their feet, all Native Americans to get on their feet, all we already see China and East Indians already doing it, and the Europeans won't have nobody to think trying to fight them or whatever the case may be. So we'll be flourishing with all this creativity, everybody wanting to visit here and stuff like that, and then there won't be no problem. You know what I'm saying? It'll just be some fruitful thing, and then we'll finally start making product, American-based product, and actually have a representation of what America look like or whatever the case. Other than that, it's just like everybody's still fighting over, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when we come into being a content creator, right, and just being a celebrity right now, if you are a celebrity, you have to make content creation and use your celebrity for that. And this is when you're going to start experiencing if you even in the same vibe or not. Because a lot of times these are the things that you was talking down on. Pardon me, y'all. So peep game. But for the most part, now this is for just everybody. As a content creator, you are a different type of person. AKA, you are a part of a new age realm of reality. So if you are not around or in environments that support the concept of creating content or subject matter based material, you are wasting your time when it comes to relationships. Even if you find someone interested just because they like you, but eventually y'all are in two different worlds, and that person will find someone that match the tempo of their life, aka end up finding people to talk about you too. Other than y'all, here's the thing. So other than y'all being in something together, so you need to find somebody that you're going to be in something together. That energy that you could be like, all right, we in this together kind of quality. And when it comes to content creation, that is going to be less on a percentage scale, because especially if you was already in the industry, it was people who was willing to act like they was a part of it based upon what the industry come from and it being backed by gold. But now is in a situation where it don't come with that, and it's all off your own volition. So even if you're a person who creative and you get your 1-2, you're going to find yourself being in positions first of I told you so, or having this concept in your mind, should you stunt on somebody or not because they did you dirty and you just stumbled across some new gold. But you should spend more time on trying to develop how to substantiate it the same way these record companies did and the same way these movie industry did. And see, you're experiencing being part of a damaged culture or lineage or ethnic group if you have to be scatterbrained a little bit how to actually get that done. And here's the thing, ain't no know-how. And when you think about the colonists, they had to start at some point. So you don't want to do no negative stuff, but you want to take those type of business qualities that the colonist has, right? And bucket hats. And you want to go ahead and start building on that now and get out of this destroy energy. We're in a position, and a lot of y'all celebrities are in a position where you have to take something from the old world that's no longer valuable to the world that we're in, that takes you back to the old world that helped you develop to get to that celebrity. So now you're in a situation where it's like all on you. And if you're not trying to build a new way that becomes the new Interscope Records, build some new way that becomes the new Universal Studio, what you're going to be doing is going to come and go, and then there's going to be some other gold or whatever the case may be. So these are things that you got to think about other than catching gold, and then everybody that didn't believe in you, spend that little gold and use your esoteric currency. Pay attention to that too much, because another person could stumble across gold also. That's all. It's like the new Wild Wild West. Mentally though, it ain't it's physically yet, because we're just now getting ready to get there. It ain't solidified. 2027, it might be solidified. But I have already shifted from the fire, water, then the air attribute, and it's getting ready to lay out as seeds and be the earth. It's instruction. It's planted now. So anywhere you travel in the spiritual world, inside of your spaceship, your plane, if you a real traveler and you got the real ego eye, you could see some gold. You could see some cold earthworm nobody seen before, new color and stuff, and boom, go get it. And now a dime a dozen energy. You didn't got lit, and we're seeing this right now. People who don't got it got to jump into an energy of making a wing worm, not get another type of worm, aka make up a virtue signaling. So yeah, it's something you could catch, but it ain't as good. You're gonna be hungry tomorrow. You're going to be hungry next week. Yeah, you could get that algorithm, but you know it's going to be something that's hotter tomorrow. Or it's just something that's to pass the time because it ain't as much lit stuff going on. So yeah, let me just go ahead and talk about this D-list actor or actress. Let me talk about this E or F-list rapper, singer, or celebrity. You see what I'm saying? Or politician. You know what I'm saying? But this is the time we in, and you got to be strong as a spiritual self to know that I run was about to be seen as cool. And you got to do it as strong as ever now, because a lot of y'all is scared to believe in yourself, and y'all need those situations that's already suited and booted. Like the industry that's already backed by gold. A lot of y'all be like, I don't got certain things that these other people got. And then don't get blinded by streamers. Streamers getting help. They got teams. They got agents. So don't get lost into that. You'll end up being in a situation. A lot of people that thought rappers was actually owning the things that they was wearing and driving at times and stuff like that before they got the money to get it. And then go ahead and spend your hard-earned money to get broke and actually realize that they didn't even do it. They did it specifically for you to do it. You see what I'm saying? So don't think like that, or whatever the case may be, right? Just be in an energy right now where, because you will be like, dang, I don't got certain things, so I need to get these things so I can even look presentable. Don't make that mistake. Do not make that mistake, because then you're gonna come across disingenuous even if you do get these things, and you're gonna be in certain situations. God gonna show you did that for nothing, child. And depending on how extreme you went, and especially pocket to feel like you should go, you don't have to. You go ahead and double up right now, triple up, and wait till you could buy it 3 or 4 times to go ahead and get that, right? God will show you putting too much pressure on yourself, or whatever the case may be. So just relax, or whatever, and just be yourself. Because it's a new time. You don't know how people reacting and responding to things. And if you think the way you think, everybody trying to do what you do and everybody not in your position have similar thoughts. So when you give yourself grace, you're more relatable in a way that don't have to be explained. In the spiritual world, was understood, don't have to be explained. So when you're getting attention or things of that nature, or when you're trying to, that's the larger percentage scale of where it come from. So even when you make slight mistakes or say things that's an opposite opinion than the crowd that you may be attracting, the audience at times, you end up having more grace at times and stuff like that, because a person would separate the message and be like, but the messenger, I relate to this person. It's another reason why I connect to him. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons why people like Mary J. Blige songs and other stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Where another vocalist might be like, she ain't saying like that, but there's other things and attributes to it that goes beyond it, other than even the raspiness. You see what I'm saying? So now look, when it comes into mixing with other people's world, you are a new individual, right? But you in a new world, believe it or not. Don't look at it like, oh, this is just something separate I look like. No, this is actually a new world, because this is what everybody on their phone anyway. So look at it. So if you a person that's participating in a new world, you're running the new world, because this is what everybody on anyway. Someone may call someone else lame when you're talking to them, but both of y'all on the phone watching people who y'all call a name or who y'all like. So what else is they doing? You see what I'm saying? So don't get beside yourself. This is the new world. So check it out. So the person that's in a different world will start feeling vulnerable or insecure or embarrassed, mixing their world with yours to a certain degree. This is why if you're around people in an environment that don't really support what you got going on or whatever, or you being a content creator, instead of you spending more time trying to please them or trying to compare and contrast and make it a dichotomy, right? But this is the only people you got access to because you still live a life. You need to know that when you're trying to search for relationships, it's going to play out in a way where the person, y'all in different worlds, and the person is in the old world and you in a new world. And they're also going to find people eventually that match their tempo that they can start talking about you to, because they're going to be in a position on a train of thought and a line of reasoning of someone else who's sitting around on the phone, not someone who think about how to be someone that's going to get ready to be watched on the phone. And also be in a position where you watch people too. That's a whole different mind thing. Because you're thinking of, when you're watching people, not only is you're entertained like the average person, but you're also watching many things to give you updates on what you should jump into and what you should not do because someone else may have dated and stuff like that. So you're in a whole different thing. So it's like giving life. Before it condenses and become the fleshly fluid, our spirit, our soul create thoughts and feelings. And when we create good ones, that's good fruit, good life. And when we create negative ones, that's bad ones and drain us up as a spirit. And then when it's vague, there's no life or death being spoken. So when you're around people in different worlds, they're giving life and death to other things. You're trying to please them, but you're not around people even speaking life or speaking death for you to compare and contrast to know what to adjust in your world. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, you gonna be unmotivated in something you're interested in just by having these people around too much. Or you trying to be interested into getting in a relationship, but homegirl is in a different world. Or if you're a chick, homeboy in a different world. See what I'm saying? Or however y'all like to do things, whatever, with y'all gender. But like I said, right? I'm just speaking for everybody. But like I said, and this is what they start feeling internally. The person in a different world will start feeling vulnerable or insecure or embarrassed, mixing their world with yours to a certain degree. This person will be too wrapped up in other people's opinions about you, but also feeling guilty by association being with you because they have to consider being a part of these opinions by default. When initially, this is why sometimes you might even, let's say if you do start getting into a few relationships, then a lot of y'all be on these dating apps, and Instagram ain't nothing but a dating app, and when it ain't fed it up and espionaged up, and Facebook ain't nothing but date. But here's the thing, right? This is why a lot of times you get that energy where a person, they may like you, or you might start to get to know them, but let's say they get to know you're a content creator, but they want to stay in the background and stuff like that. And you doing what you do, you looking at it like any other thing. You want somebody to be involved, or whatever the case may be. Or at least appear to be interested so you can find a position for them to be involved. And when you don't sense that, you're going to start to feel like you're fulfilling some energy you don't got no more in a space that ultimately you're unfulfilled in, or whatever the case may be. So you got to peep game. It's because this person is in another world and you in a new world. So you got a whole different thought process that actually lead to where everything is going in the future. And this person ain't going to be doing nothing but find someone that's more closer to the temple of their life, but still doing what you're doing in some type of way, shape, or form. And then that's when that person to come around and be convinced, like, oh, well, this person was already doing that. It's just you was in that more naked space of it being your own volition and you having to build more gold than people like you making it comfortable for other people that's in the normal world to do it in small increments when the industry already participate and make it safe a little bit for the person that you probably was interested in to even fully be involved. Then they'll fully be involved with someone that's kind of not even really like that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really like that. It's a weak way, not the full potential way. Oh, I'm just doing it because it look cool now type of way. You know what I'm saying? These ain't the people that's really putting in it. This is disingenuous people. They're not, when it gets hard, they're going to run away real fast. You know what I'm saying? In any kind of capacity. Opinions, not getting the notoriety, the validation, the attention you think you're supposed to get, especially if you got it before and you got spoiled a little bit and thinking it was going to continue to be that way in certain phases. It ain't every dog's day, and all the stars don't align all the time. got the medicine wheel on my ring with the star floating through it. But like I said, right? So a lot of people y'all may meet. Hold on, let me go back. I ain't there yet. So peep game. So like I said, these people is in a whole different world. So they might feel guilty by association at times because they're too wrapped up into other people's opinions about you. And by default, this is why a lot of times you may see people try to shear away. That be the reason why they're shearing away, because they're dealing with these things. They're in them to themselves. So they take it more extreme than you, because you trying to build yourself up in that world. So these are things that you're slightly ready for without even seeing that's what your spirit is actually doing. So you're expecting things, and these expectations is coming from other areas you may not be so successful, building up motivation. All that come with other energies that this person don't have to deal with, but slightly feel like they have to deal with just by being around you. And then people start to know them through you, or they know that you are attached to them in some type of way. So they're taking things more extreme than things that you're dealing with to not take extreme. See what I'm saying? And things that you starting to look at like it ain't extreme, it's just part of what you do. This person don't see it in that same way. But since this is a person you probably dealing with, you not gonna think that deep, and then therefore not gonna realize when you start to see shaky actions with them and them start to shy away a little bit. And the more percentage scale and time, seconds, minutes, hours throughout the day that they start to do that, you better start knowing those other things going to start fulfilling in those pockets that you ain't around them. And 9 times out of 10 is going to be other people that's in their same temple, and they're going to have somebody to start talking to you about. Start talking about you too. And they're going to start feeling more comfortable around that person, and eventually you're going to get cheated on, or whatever the case may be. If you ain't get the idea to start cheating first because you met somebody, if you slightly stumbled across a better environment, or you just went out one time and you just slightly found somebody that's more in your temple. You know what I'm saying? So be aware of that. Because here's the thing. By default, by this person being attached to you, but y'all in different worlds, right? They have to they start thinking that they have to deal with what you deal with also. And a lot of people y'all may meet already play out in their life in a way to prevent that type of attention that the content creator get, or how a content creator may be perceived if they're just starting, or if they're in a position of motivated but they ain't start yet. So they got these ideas, so they're in a situation of not having the results expected yet for another individual to take it serious from outside of them looking in, right? So a lot of times those 3 scenarios will make challenges when it comes to you trying to get a relationship with someone that's not in that world. Especially if you someone who just motivated, they're gonna be like, why you want to do that? Or you may not even be fully expressing to them how serious you is, yet you internally serious, but you just know the way that they acting, talking, reacting into the things that y'all already doing. You already know, let me just put this in the back seat. Let me not talk about it that much. And then you spend more of your time trying to ease up to it, and that be taking months and years and stuff like that, to the point that you might even drift off and say forget that, depending on how much you involve yourself into that person's mind and whatever life y'all built together, whatever the case. Or a relationship might not even go nowhere. Now you somewhere crying at first because the attachment energy, then once that wear off, you start stumbling across gold and start being like, dang, that person really was blocking me, and this actually was the best thing God did for me, and now I can see it that way, or whatever. If you ain't spiritual already, certain people who are spiritual already know how to look at it like that ahead of time. But you ain't even have to waste your time to go through all that. See what I'm saying? But like I said, a lot of people y'all may meet already are creating a life to prevent those type of situations or that type of attention that the content creator may possibly get. Or if you're a person who just motivated to be one and you ain't did it yet, or you're just starting, right? A person who's in a different world, that's like one of the main things, and it's high on a percentage scale of why they don't want to do what you do, of why they rather still be in the old world, even if y'all both work at the same job. They don't take their check to do things in the new world. They take their check to still blow it in the old world and just work for bills. You know what I'm saying? Or work to look like, or work to get the things that look like this is what you're supposed to do to look normal, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So you go ahead and get that car you really couldn't afford. So you really, in your heart, complaining every month, but you just go ahead and get over it to know you're going to have those couple of weeks you're going to be broke out your work check, because you know that's the car it takes, that you could still have some brownie points around other stupid people every day. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that world is wearing off a little bit. You're going to see a lot of these people be like, hey, I'm about to start, I'm about to join, I'm about to get a TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get on YouTube. You got to build yourself up to get on YouTube, though, if you ain't a big boy or a big girl on here. And all content creators on YouTube that, you know, we got other social media pages, but this the main one. Y'all know what that mean. That's a real thing. And the industries know what that mean too. Especially if you got a check or whatever, like the blue check. But beyond that, it don't matter. Even if you just over 1,000 subscribers, but you got it off YouTube first. You didn't get it off nowhere else. That's a whole different vibe. YouTube is actually where the real world is still at first. It's less on a percentage scale of these other things, and then they be psyoped up still more. YouTube is got psyoped up, but the people who do psyops, they're real people too. They got no choice but to try to do real things too. YouTube is a tricky game. It's YouTube. You gotta be genuine, real, authentic people. You know what I'm saying? You just, it's only so far you can go with like whatever things go too far on when it comes to TikTok and Facebook and narratives and like AI and stuff. It's only so far you go. Like you could mess around and use too much AI on YouTube and crash your whole business out. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like straight crash out. This is tricky. Too much people on YouTube, and especially too many people who don't make content watch YouTube. YouTube is the first go-to app, and it's ran by Google. Everybody use Google and YouTube. So it's almost like you can't count on your opinion on YouTube based on other content creators. You got to kind of track like, all right, I'm online and it possibly can mimic real life, but I also got to realize there's a lot of TikTok, IG, Facebook, AI, bot, Kendrick bot, CIA tactics ran on here too. But this is the only place I gotta deal with it like that. If I'm on Facebook, I fully could just throw it out right. Like this is pretty, just fully bunch of fans. IG, but I still family on there and stuff like that. YouTube, I'm only making content on here. I'm only doing this, or I'm a person just watching on here. You know what I'm saying? That's as far as it goes. It's my space. So it's a personal creativity and stuff like that. You can't really go too far and if you a person that go too far, it was once upon a time YouTube was deleting people's stuff, paying for views. So if you ain't part of the industry and you paying for views, you ain't gonna have no channel. You know what I'm saying? YouTube ain't about that. Because after a while, let's say the industry it's hard for them to do it too. Because when you do it, it's too much of the world, regular people, that's not content creators watching. So eventually, watch hours go down. You got people who become content creators who wasn't at first, and that be their sentiment. Yeah, I'm a content creator, but I don't like this in the world, and that be one of the main sentiments. And then these industries and these networks and these apps have to look at that and be like, all right, yeah, we got to adjust. We can't go too far. We can't go too far now. You know what I'm saying? It's actually counterproductive. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, here's the thing. Like, so, now here's when it comes to finding a relationship. Find someone who you understand. Find someone who understands the new world we in, because that will create a healthy and supportive environment that for both of y'all. So if y'all in the same spiritual space, the mental and the physical pressures and that come from letdowns, and let's say if you're in that position of just starting, or you're in that position of being motivated and you just talk about it, but you ain't do it yet. So even if you didn't express it, you're around those people that you already know how it be, so you put it in the back seat or whatever the case may be, all those pressures wouldn't be there. And you trying to please another individual and stuff like that. You could fully be free and go out and do what you do regardless of those energies, so it don't seem like you're competing with two things. Your interest in this person, and is you doing something up to par that look like ultimately the old world and how the relationship is supposed to be considered, that you think this person would accept you and you doing the right thing, and they will feel comfortable enough about bragging about you even if you ain't around. You know what I'm saying? So you start looking at, if you're just trying to be motivated, or you just starting to be a content creator, or if you are a content creator, you start looking at that more in the light of it being negative when you put yourself in that person that you're interested in shoes, when you start to put scenarios in your mind that they will be in. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll be obvious. You know that you're doing something that's in a new world, but you're not seeing it the way I'm explaining it now. So those feelings of those vulnerable feelings and stuff like that that you may have, that might ultimately lead into words that we call like lame and stuff like that, that you think you are, or whatever the case may be. Even though, because I know I ain't lame. No one lame, especially if you a lit person. This is how you even know online and not even care about none of that stuff I'm talking about in the first place. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to how people going to see you, because you already know what people know you about, and they know you and you know them, or whatever the case may be. But just the vibe you're in self when we're using lame. So so I'm separating it from streets and popularity and stuff, because you can even be a celebrity, and once upon a time y'all looked at podcasters like it was lame, and now you're doing it. See what I'm saying? So we're talking about a different kind of lame, not the popularity kind, or whatever the case. Just when you doing one thing when you don't have to do the other thing, and now that you're doing the other thing and you're not doing that other thing that you was doing, now you have to consider, and this is where we're calling lame, but it really ain't that word either, and stuff like that. So we got to figure out different words for each other in today's time, dealing with the new world. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that it'll be something very refreshing that you celebrities would jump to first, because I know y'all tired of hearing it from y'all audience, y'all peers, the people, places, and things, the things y'all got to do now that may not be as fruitful because the gold in the industry ain't behind it, but yet you know you got to do it. But it might be something that like it's like an egg you threw against the wall and it didn't stick. So, you know, a person could sit there, that's your peer group, and roast you and do things and kind of get you real unmotivated to even participate in the new world, because you start not looking at it like it's like that. You start looking at it like, man, no, I got to jump back into the old world where it's safe and find something, and I catch gold again there. And then you don't realize, no, we in a new world in that context. You know what I'm saying? Don't lie to yourself, because you'll be like, oh, this is pseudo, or this is just some spiritual stuff. And then you'll be jumping in the old world, not looking at it like that and thinking you can do something. No, the context, that specific context, that represents the old world too. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. So when it comes to finding a relationship, find someone who understands the new world we in, because that will create a healthy and supportive environment for both of y'all. So if y'all in this and speaking life into things too. So here's the thing. So if y'all in the same spiritual space, the mental and physical pressures and letdowns will be understood and not seen as a failure of a person wasting time through the eyes of other people in the old world, with old world importance like extreme insecurities and social norms amongst lames, to not feel weird or left out, that lead into favoritism and nepotism games that ultimately leads to no way of expansion and nothing new being creative, and something that's already looking like is getting ready to be watered down, start to burn out, and then now everybody running around trying to find some new gold in the esoteric world, something to construct something or get the industry back again, or whatever. So you have to be careful, and it'll be a lot of people too stuck in familiarity or comfort zones, scared to rock the boat, rock the boat, scared to try something new, because someone else just did but failed, because someone else just did but they struck new gold, so you don't want to look like you copying, or you can't jump into that same type of space. You know what I'm saying? Like, we in a new wild west. And it's spiritual warfare for real. All of our spirits, that means multiple. All of our spirits, you got an individual one, your soul. And our first body we create is our mind. So in the spirit world, that's the mental realm, the swimming pool we all in our spaceship. And it's a war right now. And that's outside of this body. So that's the real spiritual way to look at it. It's a war going on outside. No one is safe. You could get your whole moral system destroyed, and that'll drive someone to hurt themselves or kill themselves or start doing stupid stuff way faster than anything physical that the body created and the physical created. You know what I'm saying? When you're just dealing with the spirit and the mind, you know what I'm saying? A person could lose $100,000, $1 million right now and be like, you know what I'm saying? A person lose their mind. That's it. That's it. They can't even put their spirit back in a position to develop that mind again to get them $1 million and stuff like that. So whether you got $1 million or you broke, you lose the mind. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And it's easy ways to lose your mind. A heartbreak that you never wanted, a death that you never wanted, based on a person you cared about, instability, an extreme insecurity, something you really wanted, and someone blocked it, or you was just quite there, and man, all these energies and stuff like that, they're just like qualities of a person. They'll lose their mind. And if that spirit ain't strong enough and start getting on that godly battle, the person will take their life. So we have to be careful of that too, or be so self-sabotaging. It's almost like this person is forcing the people around them to take their life. And then they do all crazy stuff and create all kind of enemies and want their enemies to do it. They secretly, that's what they be wanting. They be want somebody to end their misery. You know what I'm saying? But peep game. So if you're going to find somebody, I went too far down. So if you're going to find somebody, make sure they're in the same space and they're not in that old world, like insecurities and stuff like that, because there won't be no way to expand. Now, if you let this go, because if you let this go on too long, you're going to start creating weird American dichotomies, like internally thinking you have to pick one or the other. Choose between the career or content creating or what would be a career and your relationship life. And it shouldn't even be in that pocket. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people who go to college and they join sports, they lack certain street smarts. So a lot of times they get lost in espionages or people that they think they want to be in a relationship with, and they start to realize that they're put in foggy situations where they be having to pick their career over their relationship at times, and then in other situations pick their relationship over their career at times. And then it be other things going on because it's a Walt Disney relationship, not a spiritual ship. So they really be dealing with this and really be trying to do things that they think is the right thing, be making mistakes, and they're in a whole wrong world themselves. And then it be taking them years. And some of these people go broke. Some of these people end up like Bill Cosby with espionages. Some people just end up realizing that these ain't your true friends, or that wasn't your true relationship. That wasn't that true chick, or that wasn't that true dude if you a chick, or whatever the case may be. You've been wasted half your life and half of your career and half of your funds and stuff like that. And then especially if y'all be married, man, the people y'all be married to be taking like 80% of what you created yourself away from y'all. You know what I'm saying? And the school y'all went to and the institutions to be institutionalized ain't had no classes for that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't had no classes for that though. You know what I'm saying? So what good was it being institutionalized to make a corporation money if they couldn't teach you how to protect yourself to be able to sustain these corporations? This is why corporations be failing so much, or always be at the bottom feeding stage, and we always going through recessions before it's a full country collapse, government shutdown, recession. That's always a lead up, is this corporation start to go broke. Then Peter have to rob Paul, that corporation. Then Paul stop having artists and other things for Peter to rob. So now Peter and Paul can't even scam each other. So now they got to be bottom feeders and get rid of the thing that Peter could Paul rob with, the goddamn pets and slaves and stuff like that. Us. Then for the most part, now we all scavengers. Everybody scavengers. Peter, Paul, and us. And to somebody, so Peter, they the cobalt mines. So they got to figure out how to melt the gold and put it together. Make a system, make a corporation for something. Then that's what put them in a position to make more money. But I'm not speaking for these things as right or wrong. I'm just speaking about reality. Then you got the gold mines, creative, on the other side of the sword. Yeah, you know how to create all the creativity, but you don't know how to create or melt the gold yourself. So you just making all this gold, getting all this attention, don't know how to capitalize off of it though. So, and you need the cobalt mine. You need it to even feel like you got a place for it to be. You got a stage for it to be on. You got a platform for it to be seen. So a double-edged sword is people like me. You a gold mine and a cobalt mine. Or would be no such thing as people getting on YouTube thinking they could teach and smoke blunts. Now look, and for that to be respected. Now, that's for the hood. We make waves in the hood. And the hood ain't nothing but reservations that was created just for all the immigrations and stuff like that. And shout out to everybody on actual reservations, on the natives, and all my mixed natives out there, and all my African Americans. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. My Puerto Ricans. But look, check it out, right? If you let that go on too long, you're gonna start compartmentalizing, thinking that you got to pick one or the other over your relationship or your career. And somewhere down the line, you have allowed your mind to get into a position where you start thinking that these are totally different worlds that don't blend. Like, there's no such thing that this could blend. Like, ain't no such thing as me finding someone who completely care about my career and I could completely care about their career. Ain't no such thing as someone who. So you'll start creating scenarios in your mind, right? And you will start setting up your life like that. You will only be setting up relationships on that type of building block. Like, you'll start setting up relationships where your business and your relationship is separate, that's like the right thing to do based upon you being in a Walt Disney relationship right now, especially if you got a good career or if you're a content creator and you're getting your one too. You know what I'm saying? But it don't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Because these are gonna lead into mistakes anyway. But you're only setting yourself up, or here's the thing, you're gonna start setting your life in that magnitude to the point that you start feeling comfortable with settling. Like, you're gonna make up in your mind, oh, I already know it ain't someone that I'm going to find that truly do what I do or into what I do, and whatever that they do, I could be involved in it like that too, because it's in the same space. So you will start being like, well, I'm just going to do what I do and take how I get my 1-2 together, and I know I'm just going to be getting this type of person. So then you're going to make that as an interest, and then you're going to be like settling, aka a person that's really like open to a lot of the bullshit that you really don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, this settling in areas you don't have to and things of that nature, and justifying that you're doing the right thing in that magnitude when you really ain't. So you're going to be building relationships based off keeping things separate. Yeah, I got this relationship, but I do my content, and this is the person I'm in a relationship. And a lot of times, this is how that long distance relationship became so high on the percentage scale. You know what I'm saying? Or a lot of the what they call that passport bro concept, because a lot of these cats was in the military or had jobs like white collar, blue collar jobs where they have to be in certain cities and stuff like that, and differ than their hometown and stuff like that. So a lot of that became more a convenience. But then once it got psyop by the CIA, it became also a money scam too. So then that's when it turned into the term passport bro. But here's the thing. Here's what you need to understand. People who are in the old world do certain things that ultimately leads to tit for tat and a relationship that lack the spiritual ship concept. So it's a bunch of people just creating situationships that don't even truly know where it's leading, that always leads to bridge burning situations or being in polygamous situations without being polygamous, right? Because when we talk about the old world and stuff, and I'm a master orator, so we're gonna bring it back to what I was talking about earlier at the beginning. I always like to make disclaimers. You're not missing nothing, so don't try to separate it and think that there's not a world that it could be blended, and then you think you got to put that in the back seat being a content creator when it comes to you wanting to finally find a relationship if these things haven't been blended, and a lot of time has been passing, and your relationship yearnings from a spiritual nature is starting to create, because you need fulfillings and pockets, and it been lacking attention in that area, right? Here's the thing. When it comes into just doing that, I'm letting you know you're still not missing nothing. It might be things God needs you to be in to still spend more time or find that individual that's in that space. You're just not spending time or being more serious enough to be in these places that is only both genders anyway, so you're going to find the opposite sex. You're just not pushing yourself in these, being serious about what you're doing that puts you in these situations that you would see that opposite sex in that area that you was probably spending more time on in other areas, and thinking that, well, let me just put my creativity in the back seat. And why do I say that, right? Why you not missing nothing? This is what you don't understand. In today's time, people in the old world participating in the new world by default, because everybody online and stuff like that, this is what they don't understand. But if you look at it from a distance, this is what you're going to be seeing and stuff like that, right? Right? People in the new world, by being online, and people who in the old world that's not content creators with their regular life, right? Would you see anytime you see a person claim they are in a relationship, but the person that they are in a relationship is open enough to, and this really go for females, really the females' social media pages, but for the men also, right? But it's slightly different. A man will cherish that and stuff is to a certain nature, but specifically when it comes to female social media pages, based upon people in the old world who not content creators. That's why even when it comes to men that I'm getting ready to explain, it can play out for them too, if they're not content creators. So we specifically speaking for the world of people that's not content creators, right? They're not in the new world, but it can play out on an extreme specifically for the female social media pages, what I'm about to say. But on small degrees, it can play out for the man, but the man will still cherish it more. But if the man is a content creator, he cherishes it fully, what I'm about to say. But this really specifically for all female social media pages. In today's time, people who are participating in the old world, right? Here's the thing. When you see a person claim that they are in a relationship, but the person that they are in a relationship with is open enough to be on their social media page, as far as pictures, videos, clips, stuff like that, right? That relationship would not even last long. Because here's the thing. It's obvious. Obviously, the person don't have anything going on if they're open enough to be on the other person's page. Pardon me. Now, here's the thing. Ain't a problem with being on that person's page. Then every now and then. But when you start to see it over and over, like the person, especially the female, specifically for female social pages, she's using it for bragging rights almost, how much she do it. First of all, that comes from an insecurity. She may be around people that made her feel like she can't get a dude or whatever. So when she get one, that fulfills that pocket. She get to do that other. Also, she may have been expressing herself in a way that, you know, a person can make up in their own mind being around other people, having enough conversations with their family, friends, their aunties and stuff like that, where a person could be like, okay, this action a little bit made me appear to be desperate or thirsty, or I'm thirst trapping. And I know how that could be seen. It could be seen as, I want to be wanted and I'm not wanted at the moment, and I may even attract men that I don't want, but this was my only way of getting the attention of the man I do want. So if I get too much of the attention of the man I don't want, I will shut down for a little bit, because I might feel like I'm not seen the way that I wanted to be seen by the man I do want. So having another dude sometimes also that they post fulfills that pocket, even if they made that mistake a few times before that dude, before that fool at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes into, if a man or a dude is always in a chick post all the time that she using, eventually he ain't got nothing going on, and the female is using them for that. So it goes beyond him, and it's less on a percentage scale of him, and it's more on a percentage scale of just his dick at the moment, and even if she dickmatized or not, based upon the attention that she getting, that can fulfill those pockets that made her feel a little insecure from a little bit, right? So once you understand that, here's the thing. Y'all still in the new world, and y'all both watching other people that's having issues that I've been explaining the whole live stream that content creators may have to run into every now and then. So here's the thing. Here's where you get people as a content creator coming around, but also coming around to it like, oh, this is the new world. I made a mistake. I ain't know. But also being in a situation of realizing once the female that posts the dude or whatever the case may be, eventually you're going to know that she's getting ready to get bored with him because he don't have nothing going on if he's so open to be on her social media page all the time. Like I said, so this especially when it comes to females' social media pages, because if the dude ain't really bringing attention of, like, eventually both parties, who they're gonna start to look at things in their relationship, and they're gonna look at it like it's both on some bull crap. Y'all both make like holding each other back from other possibilities or opportunities, even when it even coming to other relationships. It might not even have anything to do with other relationships. You might be posting a person, female posting a dude. Eventually, whatever she doing, she get reached out, and that world might got possibilities that show that bringing this dude around may block certain things and stuff like that. Here she go acting funny, and then she making weird posts. Oh, this dude got insecurity problems. Why are all guys insecure, or whatever the case may be? He know what you getting ready to do. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, y'all in the new world playing old world games and acting like it ain't the new world because you don't got a spiritual person like me from the hood online explaining it to you. And now I am. What you getting ready to experience, whether you on that end of feeling like you're motivated to kind of show yourself more online, because the dude that you around, or whatever the case may be, eventually gonna make you feel like you blocking certain opportunities. He blocking certain opportunities. So like I said, right? If she posting a dude, eventually it will be obvious he's not part of the new world. And homegirl would get bored posting him if he's not bringing attention from other females, like they was, that little tit for tat energy. You could be like, oh yeah, I'm messing with a dude you was messing with, all that little high school type stuff, that it goes beyond the sex of why people choose to post who they dealing with online and stuff like that. Because, a lot of times people ain't about no business anyway. So they need attention in other areas to even be invested in more of that than what you got going on anyway online. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a person that if I ain't really talking about nothing or my business, I don't really got no business being online anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm more that type of person. You know what I'm saying? That's why my posts the way they are. But here's the thing, right? If she posting a dude, eventually, like a lot of times, eventually, if you a guy, don't be scared to holler at her, or don't think you stepping on someone's toes, because a lot of times she's posting that dude for those reasons I was breaking down, that fulfill those pockets where she was developing small pockets of insecurities, and she don't want to be seen in that light or vulnerable positions towards her peers and people that she know, her family, friends, and associates. So a lot of time a dude is being used for that. You know what I'm saying? And if he's willing and open, that means he ain't even got no mind of knowing how he's seen in a certain way. So he ain't got nothing going on anyway that he can even tell her, I'm busy, or it ain't that type of vibe, or you better not show my location, or you trying to get me PNB right now? You trying to get me PNB? You trying to get me backdoor? You know what I'm saying? It ain't even multiple things to think about. So these are the only things to attach to get attention, and the female gonna eventually start feeling like homie cheese, homie slice, nigga, walking talking. He getting a little bit too happy of me posting him. You know what I'm saying? I got people in my inbox that I'm starting to second question now, that let me open their inbox now. You know what I'm saying? So then that start to play out, because females are curious. So for the most part, here's the thing. When a female is showing off another guy a lot and things of that nature, right? Eventually she gonna get bored. And then she gonna get bored of that illusion, and then she's gonna be wanted, because a lot of times she's just showing him because she want to show other people that she is wanted. In the middle of being wanted, so here's where those pictures or those other posts come from, to make the guy that she is posting look at her and then make her feel like he acting insecure in certain areas, or he questioning too much, right? Because it's a slick way of being a hoe without appearing to be a hoe, or a person that's desperate, to be specific. AKA, I want to show y'all that I'm already wanted. I got this guy I'm posting, but I want to show y'all that I'm still interested in how many people are interested in me, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't lose it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't I got a guy. That don't mean you know what I'm saying? Females start thinking. So this is where that mother post come from. Now she in limbo. Is this guy gonna start developing insecurity, or is she is gonna get fulfilled or not? Then she start thinking it's more about her, like forget him. And then that's when she reached that area of, and then that's when you can see from a distance of that area she in. She bored with homeboy, and homeboy ain't had nothing going on anyway. And then for the most part, he was just fulfilling other things, because a female ain't never single. Don't ever believe a female single. If a female single at the moment, she's extremely masculine. And that's her way of trying to be seen, because everything else didn't work. And even when it comes to the sensual energies, the feminine energies, it might be something petty too. She don't think she got a certain body, the way her body part may not be the same way one of her peers or someone she know body part or butt jiggle the way someone she liked it or was attracted to. And then that alone may make her not even open herself from people who may be interested in her little booty or whatever like that. All booties matter or whatever. But she'll play out that energy of extremely being masculine, and those the only time either they already masculine, a dyke, or they're going through that at the moment. The only time you see a chick that actually ain't dealing with nobody or ain't getting no dick at the moment. Other than that, every chick is in some type of situation or whatever like that. So don't ever forget that, because they want to be wanted. So if they're in a situation where they're actually not wanted at the moment, it shows. They're going to be extremely masculine, all in your face, and they're going to be playing out that Helga versus Hey Arnold energy, where she secretly like you, but you think she got a problem with you or whatever the case. You think it's always an issue, ain't nothing right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she ain't getting that. You know what I'm saying? Something ain't getting itched. That ain't right. You just ain't wise enough as a man to understand it and stuff like that. You getting ready to make some red pill content. You're like retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like you retarded. You don't know when chicks are saying one thing, they saying the opposite. You don't understand that because you in the opposite. So you get ready to defend in your opposite, and you ain't amongst no guys. So you get ready to think that she's supposed to think like you, logical. And you get ready to say, oh, because you evil, I don't like what you said. And deep down inside in her heart, she said what she said because she really was thinking that she was going to be Holly Berry and you was going to be Billy Bob Thornton, and you was going to be like, I don't care what you talking about. Drop them pants or whatever the case may be and get this dick. And that's all she wanted you to say. And then for the most part, now for the rest of y'all months in high school or the rest of y'all months in college or y'all curriculums or whatever like that, she calling you not a man. And you doing everything. You making money. You taking care of your family. You can't seem to understand why y'all relationship is uncool other than everybody else and y'all coworkers and stuff like that. And she keep always alluding to you ain't a man though. Or you can't do that. Like you can't figure it out. And I'm telling you right now, that's why. Because you couldn't say, I don't care what you talk about right now. Drop them panties. I said, get this dick. That's all you had to do. You was in your woman. And she seen that. Because women are spiritual and they in the internal world. She seen that. She's like, oh, he a woman like me. So in my phone, I used to have his number. Let me change it to one of my bitch. Oh, no, one of my bitch friends. Before I delete it. Oh, sad. That's how they be looking at your number. After that. Yeah, don't stop there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get up this good game. I love all y'all. Good game. Good spiritual game for the night. So, if you're a content creator, you know what I'm saying? Does it get in the way or harm or hurt your ability to go for relationships? Yes. But what I would tell you is, right, even if you're in that little limbo where your environment don't support it at the moment, if you go hard for whatever you do, right, eventually you're going to end up in a situation that your work put you in, or that what you do put you in. And last time I checked, from the human race lens, it's only two genders that's building everything. So wherever you go, you gonna find the opposite sex. So your problem is where you're trying to find your opposite sex. And that's in that environment that's highly unsupportive, and you don't have to put your creativity or your content in the back seat to please these individuals. Because I just broke this down. God damn it, you ain't missing nothing. And you can look back right now, whatever you think you don't got, that you see other people got on these social medias, posting these pictures, and I just broke down what's happening behind closed doors. So don't get blinded and end up that being you. Now your feelings get ready to be hurt and stuff like that. Then all those months and years pass, and you ain't even put out that creative content. Ain't that about it? Now you somewhere got to be mad at everybody doing what you thought was either lame or you was wasting your time on. because you got lost into a relationship that wasn't a spiritual ship. But get yourself together, all my content creators and everybody and all my celebrities out there and all my regular people. Fight about, man. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon. I am the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and responsibilities. Right to swap, he'll hold that yellow hoop. Massasoit, Mama Natoit. Hee hee. Woo! Masasaki.